It's one of those emotionally somber days. I don't know where to go with that, but I just have a lot in my heart, a lot on my mind. So this morning was challenging in terms of my relationship with my boyfriend. Not my baby, he was fine. Um, I think it kind of bothers me now being a mom and not married. That's just my personal upbringing, where it's like, oh, we have a child together, but you're still my boyfriend. So it's like, how does that work? We haven't graduated to like fiance or anything, but whatever. So that's something, once we kind of work through some things, that I'd like to strive for. But we're not there yet, and there's no sense in pushing it. That's stupid. So we've all been there, regardless if you are married, if you have children or not, where your relationships, they have moments of struggle. Even good relationships, they have moments where you kind of have pitfalls. And that's healthy because you're growing together. It's almost like squeezing out a pimple. You got to get the dirt out so that you can, open that surface, clear the air, and work things through so your skin can heal. I know that personally. But it was good. At first, I wanted to do the typical running away, and I quit, and I'm giving up and going back home to Ohio where my family is and where I belong and all this other crap. But then I took a moment to just get inside my heart and think about it. I don't know if you have had the moment or had the chance to see the movie War Room. Highly, highly recommend it. Such a powerful movie on not just prayer, that's the basis of it, but relationships. That's the biggest thing I took away from that movie was relationships. And how important it is to pray for the people that you love, and the things that divide you are not the people, it's the stuff, it's the little things, it's the enemy, if you will, that we let get in the middle of our day-to-day connections. So, oh my gosh, I have got a good man. And I mean, I'm not saying this because it's on YouTube, but I love that man so much. But right now, we're both testing each other. So it's hard. We're both very strong personalities, and we both have things that we want from the other, but we're not in a position to give freely. That's another story. But one thing I know is, I just know I wouldn't want to quit and give someone else the opportunity to have what I have. And I wouldn't want to quit and have somebody else. Hold that thought. All right, so we had to check on him to make sure that the baby was okay. You're fine? Are you okay? All right. So I wouldn't want anybody else. I've known that. And I think I would short circuit my journey in life if I quit in the middle of it before I got to the end of the matter. So the one thing, going back to the movie, is it prompted me in my heart to pray, to just pray for him. That's the one thing I was so like discouraged in myself, like, oh my gosh, all this time and I haven't been praying for, myself. I haven't been praying for this relationship. I haven't been praying for him. I haven't been praying for, the atmosphere in our home to be just positive and conducive. And to be honest, you still have moments, regardless if, you've been going to church forever or what, backslid, whatever you want to call it, who cares? You still have those moments where you're dealing with your ego because you are a work in progress and you're flawed. And, nobody is perfect but Jesus himself. So, it's a rough thing because in my heart it's like I'm not getting the things I desire in my relationship, but I'm not willing to quit because I know that there's good things ahead if I just keep trying. And not trying to put myself, not make myself a doormat, but just to stand strong. And I hope that speaks to somebody, because we're all going through it. And I say this and I put this out there for the simple reason that when you have a child, it makes matters more difficult. It's so much better. Our communication, I feel, our relationship is more real than it had been before our son was born, because there's more of an investment, if I can say that, a beautiful investment, and that just speaks to me so much. When we would have arguments after, they were more serious, like using words and not just, I'm done, or, whatever we do as women and men too. But I really thank God for my child because he's helped me to grow and to see what's important in life. And it's not a lot of the superficial things that I once honored and held to some high esteem. The most beautiful thing I think about getting older is the patience. That I am a more patient person than I was, I say, oh God, like what, maybe even 2 years ago or when I turned 30. Oh my gosh, I have so much more patience. So I just say, I say hang in there. If you know in your heart that this is the man or woman that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and it's not an abusive situation where that your physical form or your mind are not being harmed, if you can see the pros and cons, and even with dealing with his BS and you having your own BS, if the good outweighs the bad, try your darndest to find ways to work through it and stick with it. My parents have been married for almost 33 years. My grandparents have been married, much longer. So that's an encouraging thing for me to have, 2 generations of family members who are still together. And it encourages me to see them because they still, have their, things that they go through. But, and I didn't mean to put my parents' business, not that I said anything, but anyway, they're a couple. So every couple has their tiffs or whatever, but it's encouraging to my heart that they haven't given up even after all of these years. And even my grandparents, hold that thought, Are you okay? Alrighty. So thank you, Grandma and Granddad, for being the pillars of our strength, to being our foundation for um, building happy and healthy families. So, are you okay? So I digress. I just want to encourage you moms out there that if you are, um, you know, having issues in your relationship, here, have this. Is that okay? There you go. Okay. If you are having issues in your relationship after your child is born, don't count it as, a bad thing. Just, it happens. You grow apart, you've become somebody else. You've become a mother now. And he's become a father. And both of you are, navigating your new roles in your relationship. So, whatever it's worth, I hope that blesses somebody. This is just real proof and evidence of what goes on when you have a child. Your relationships, they change, and not necessarily turn for the worse. They just adjust. You have hills and valleys and mountains. Come here. Come here. It's okay. Here. He needed something to pacify him. So he's okay. So that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm not sure if it was much or if it really helped somebody. But thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. I'm going to take care of him now. Thanks.